Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ryan Aranda here, My Best Life Paraguay. Welcome back to the channel. And I'm going to be doing this video because I just realized I think I hit 100 days here in Paraguay, right? The last time I gave life updates was the first day of spring, which was a good 2 weeks ago now. And I've covered other topics in between that. I went to a few places, so there's a lot of content popping up on my channel. And I know my content is longer form, right? So I have longer videos. And yeah, so I've gotten the messages from a couple of you guys like, dang, I can't keep up with you. It's like, man, I can't keep up with myself either. I kind of fell a little bit behind promoting on TikTok and Instagram. I'll get all caught up with that stuff because I do want that to just kind of lay out a little bit better, and then I'll get caught up with that stuff eventually. But it's kind of like a book, so you can go there, see what I'm doing on YouTube, vice versa. When you want more pictures and that kind of stuff, little clips or whatnot, little stories, a lot of promo stuff though for YouTube. But at least my promo stuff is fun. I usually have music behind it. I really take my time with these thumbnails and stuff, which a lot of you guys have commented on, or not commented, but appreciate and all that. So anyways, yeah, 100 days here in Paraguay. I'm going to be breaking down a few topics, but, in fact, before I bring in all my stuff, right, I'm going to read you a quote of the great, right? And I came across this because I was looking for a background image of Anthony Bourdain, right? Anthony Bourdain needs pretty much no introduction, but, if by some chance you don't know who I'm talking about, world-renowned chef, and humble beginnings, traveled the world and always made an effort to meet locals. I'm giving a terrible description of Anthony Bourdain, but meet locals, respect the culture, dive deep into the culture, not just do passport bro activities. You guys know what I mean. And again, I will say and clarify, everybody who's being a correct passport bro, all the respect in the world, right? But for you clowns out there, you're the ones who I refer to when I talk negatively about passport bros. Anybody who's doing real stuff, solid stuff, being a decent person and whatever, following the rules, and even beyond that, if you like looking for residency, being a more serious person, much respect. Okay, let me get back to Anthony Bourdain. So, many people who follow Paraguay content may know that he has an episode on Paraguay because he actually has familial ties to Paraguay. I believe he said his great-grandfather was in Paraguay. If I remember, I'll put the thumbnail to his video on YouTube. You may have to pay for it. I'm not sure anymore. I think I might have had to pay a few bucks or something to be able to watch this because I think it's technically YouTube TV. I'm not sure. But you can find it maybe other places. Just by some case you haven't seen Anthony Bourdain's Paraguay episode, right, where he explores his family heritage, and he also is doing all the Anthony Bourdain stuff, eating at restaurants, talking to locals, all the awesome stuff, man. He's arguably my favorite person who isn't family, who isn't arguably one of my biggest inspirations, of my life. And I really came across him later in life too, like not even that. So it's like, I didn't know about him from the beginning, but it actually, like, once I realized like his close connections, ties to Paraguay, it was just really special for me, right? Obviously I have my ties. I'm from here. I was born here, etc. So I'll stop introducing somebody that you guys definitely already know. Okay, so I want to read this quote from him, and then a lot of this video is going to be based off of some of these themes, right? So he says, and I'll put it on the screen here, travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart. But that's okay. The journey changes you. It should change you. It leaves a mark on your memory, on your consciousness, on your heart, and on your body. You take something with you. Hopefully, you leave something good behind. You know, and me being here 100 days, man, like I internalize and I understand this message so much better, you know? Especially like the parts in here where he talks about like it's not always comfortable and traveling can even break your heart. I know what he means. And it's going to be one of the things I talk about here today. Homesickness, maybe leaving people behind, friends behind, and if you're seeing girls, even if you did whatever, you know, there's no like gray zone anymore because you're not there. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, family, friends, that kind of thing. And but also, like, you know, here things may not go as planned as well, whether it's dating, this, that, and it's a whole journey by itself, right? And I've talked about this, and I'll get a little bit into this, not too much though, about dating today. It's going to be other stuff. You know, and yeah, man, and like, you know, it's a hell of a thing, right? To do this, man. You're in the very you're a slim minority of people who travel, but travel in a serious manner, and then also relocate, right? And that's the bigger one, right? And Anthony Bourdain, I don't know if he ever, well, I think he actually did relocate for a while. I don't know exactly what amounts of years or whatever, and where exactly. I know he's been essentially like everywhere around the world. I just forget if he's been established in one place or another for a significant amount of time. But you know, you can meet people along the way, as he has. Maybe you're going country to country, and you could find love here and there too, like or something that you may think you want to take more serious, but maybe you gotta go back home for a while, go somewhere else. Like his line of work made him travel a lot, and you know, and so I get it, you know, I absolutely understand what he means. And yeah, the journey changes you, like out of his quote. You know, leaves a mark on your memory and your consciousness and your heart and your body. Hell yes. Hell yeah. And then, yeah, you know, so then you take something with you, hopefully you leave something good behind. Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Like, I was always in the mindset that I had to make just endless amounts of money and then like donate it here, this place, that place. But I'm starting to realize one of the things I can leave behind is a lot of this testimony, right? About getting folks here, about life here, about real life here, not just in towers, but the whatever, the good, the bad, the whatever, this, the that, right? And like, and you know, obviously respecting my people along the way, and you know, and then the legacy of Paraguay, right? And then a lot of that revolves around our hospitality and our willingness to, I mean, that would be incredibly well, ironic, and it would be incredibly hypocritical of me if I was a Paraguayan that like didn't want you guys here or something like that. So I try to honor the historical like welcomingness of Paraguayos, right? I try to carry that through my channel. That's one of the biggest goal, if not the biggest goal of this channel, right? To get people who are stuck to try to leave. If you're thinking about here specifically, to lay out a bunch of videos for you guys to enjoy. Some of them will be deep, some of them will be more economic based, etc. But hopefully you can pick some of that stuff and latch onto it. You're not offending me if you don't latch onto everything. I know I go really deep and really long into a lot of things. We're already at damn near 10 minutes right now. Yeah, and I barely even started. So I thought I would start out with his quote, right? Because he is a very special man in the world of travel, in the history of travel, and just like traveling the right way, right? Meeting the people, eating the food, being respectful, exploring, and getting out of your eggshell, learning customs, languages, cultures, finding a more profound sense of who you are as a human being. not being stuck in a place where everybody thinks of like you back home, not a place where you're just looking for echo chambers so people can just say the same thing back. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, we're all right. It's like, you know how many people I've met that have different mindsets, different political affiliations, different everything that I probably would have never met back home, like dozens on dozens on dozens since the beginning of my YouTube journey. And then when I landed down here, right? Which is actually going to be my next topic, is this is going to be, I'm going to bring into now, YouTube, right? And there's several other subtopics in here. Number one, thank you all, you guys. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and keep doing it, please. I have a big goal. I know it's pretty ambitious, but I would love to meet, I'd love to have 1,000 subscribers, and this is my call out to you guys. But if you guys could help make that possible, that would be absolutely wonderful. Keep showing the family. If you can get a couple family members, maybe subscribe. They don't have to watch everything, or maybe they maybe even just one video you could put their way. Maybe they're really big on prices. I have some apartment prices, houses, etc. A lot of you guys actually find my channel through my first video that has over 8,000 views. It's the 3 houses I show for under 134,000 USD. Beautiful houses, modern houses. A lot of you guys find me that way. All right. So yeah, thank you all so much. Also, this is completely optional, but you may have noticed if you've seen the last couple of videos of mine, I do have a banner. Well, actually I have 2 banners, but the first banner is and I might include it right here when I'm talking about it. But the first banner is, if you'd like to, and this is completely optional, don't feel pressure to, right? I'm trying to create a fund for expenses to when I go to visit places throughout Paraguay, right? I would love to get to, at least half a dozen cities before the new year, and then after the new year, maybe a dozen, right? So I really want to explore the culture. I'll try to do my best to explore the history of these places, the special elements about these places, cultural elements, what people are doing, what's produced here, maybe even going to house prices, land prices. I'm not really sure yet, but anyway, so that's why I have if you'd like to, and it's always down in the description below, completely optional, only if you're able to, right? I think I got Venmo, PayPal, whatever, all like right out on the. So if you'd like to just give a little bit, that's going into specifically for to get to other places and help cover those costs. Anyways, so there's that. Last thing I will say about that, if you have places in mind that you'd like me to visit, please let me know. And like specific towns, I've gotten a few suggestions from you guys. All good suggestions, right? Yeah, keep sending me those. If you really have your heart set on me visiting this town, I can do that. And that's exactly what this fund I'm essentially creating will go to. Social media banner. That's just self-explanatory. It's just if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. All Facebook stuff is pretty much Instagram stuff. So if you want to follow me on those, contact me through those. I'll always have down below my email as well, right, for you guys. So again, thank you. I wanted to explain what the banner is for that you may start seeing on the screen here. It's for that reason. Just to give a little bit of a breakdown of my last 100 days. I've done videos on all this stuff, but from the beginning where I stay in like technically a technical penthouse, they say, but that was in Yembi, which is kind of farther to the southwest of the city. And I did a few videos there. I didn't film inside, but I filmed the grounds, the pool area. Hold on, my dog's drinking water here. Okay. So the pool area, the rest of the grounds, it's a beautiful condo community. It's just the The location is kind of off for a lot of you guys for what you'd probably want to do down here. But regardless, it's beautiful. It's an Airbnb. You can still get Ubers anywhere. It might be a little bit longer, but etc. Okay, so yeah, I filmed a little bit there, and then I came here, filmed my apartment here, what this looks like, and the whole inside and all that. And I'll probably actually do another video too to show where I bought things like furniture and that kind of stuff too. Down the line here, once I clean this place better. And I've been to Aregua, a small artisan town of Aregua, produces clay works of art, fruit-based snacks, pies, anything fruit-wise, etc. Most recently, I've been to Ipacaraí, and I was picked up there in Itagua. Did a journey to Armin's house, interviewed Armin, went to Ipacaraí. I have a bit of B-roll from the historic downtown when I went to a concert there, and I do a voice recording over that talking about a different subject, but I have content from what it looks like in the historic downtown by the Plaza de los Héroes, I believe. The old historic downtown, closer to the river. I have a little bit of content, walking after the interview with Shane Caldwell. I have a bit of how does it look in Paseo La Galeria, our nicest mall here in Paraguay. Beautiful, beautiful place. Man, that place was gorgeous. And a lot of people live and stay really close to that area, and like Villa Mora and Las Lomas, I believe, are the two barrios right next to each other. So I've been downtown. I've done walk and talks in a couple places in the market here in San Lorenzo, where I'm staying. Oh man, where else have I? I'm trying to remember, you guys. I'm not remembering the best. My neighborhood. Yeah, I've taken walks around here if you guys want to look like that. Most recently, the spring walk and talk, I took my dog with me this time. You can see a little bit more of the neighborhood. Actually, man, I did one more, but I didn't film it good, so I'll be doing another one to go in a different way, which shows a little bit better the city, town, a little bit. I'm not gonna get all the way to the market, but that'll be a whole nother video by itself. Anyways, okay. Point is, I have a lot of content out there. Even if I'm not talking in the moment and I record over, I still have a lot of B-roll from where I've been in these last 100 days. Okay. Now, it's been an honor also meeting you guys, those who I have done interviews with, and I'll have done a handful, half a dozen by this point, by the time I release this video. One's literally uploading right now. What I did with a Canadian who came down here, Simon Boyd. I'm gonna mess up your name, Boydwan. Simon Boydwan, Simon, right? And anyways, Canadian who's been down here for the last couple weeks getting residency. I got his thoughts about that, what he thinks about Paraguay. It's gonna be a great interview, you guys. It's gonna be the one I upload right before this video, okay? So yeah, it's been an honor meeting all you guys, really, truly. Even if you just write in, even if you just send me an email, I try to get back to you as soon as I can. I know that there's a while I was slacking for like a week, at least with emails, but I'm back on point again. Instagram, whatever you guys hit me up through, appreciate it. Keep hitting me up. I appreciate all your invites as well, for beer and coffee and all that. Really, truly, I do. And I think that I accidentally made it seem like I'm not appreciative of that, because I said I get quite a bit, but I absolutely am, and I will actually try, right, to meet you guys, whenever we were able to figure that out, okay, for sure. I like hearing you guys' stories. I'm genuinely interested. I may even want you to come on the channel and do an interview. I'd like giving everybody's thoughts about Paraguay, those who I'm meeting along the way, those who are reaching out to me. Okay. And so I want to actually and then going on top of that, learning along the way, right? I've learned a lot from you guys as well. Like, I know that you guys take whatever you take from my videos, but I also learned from you guys as well. You know, even younger guys like Aaron and stuff. Even if it's something that I can pull out later, like a message or a theme or something. You know, I really I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your knowledge as well. This is not just a one-way thing. I always preaching kind of just letting you guys know everything. No, like I like to legitimately learn from you folks as well, for sure. Okay, so yeah, I'm probably gonna make this his own chapter here in the video, but I did a video in Spanish recently, maybe 2-3 videos ago, and it was essentially my adoption journey in Spanish. But there's also a call out in that video, right? And that call out is actually before this, I just want to give the chapters of this video. So it's basically my story, right, in Spanish. And you know, if you guys want a Spanish lesson, you can go watch it if you like. You know, I'm like kind of like Aaron said, I'm probably like 80 to 90% fluent. I might mess up a couple words here and there. You know what I mean? But so I talk a little bit slower. It's a long video, just like all of mine. But I just want to break down the chapters to that video. So I break down who am I, my channel in YouTube, why I'm doing content in English over Spanish, right? You know, just really quickly, will mention that the biggest reasons I am, or at least started out to, and now I'll probably be doing a little bit of both, but still mostly English, if not like predominantly English. But the reason I started out too was, number one, my message to English speaking adopted kids, right, around the world. But also I just saw that there was way less content in English, even just 6 months ago. I know that there's a lot of video or content creators that are popping up and doing Paraguay specific content nowadays, but even like 9 months ago, when I first kind of started putting out videos, it was even less. Right? You know what I mean? So those were kind of one deeper reason, and then one more like strategic reason, right? And also to that, if you do videos in English, there's subtitles in English, Spanish, and whatever language. But for some reason, or maybe I just didn't do it right, but when I did my Spanish video, it wouldn't even change the subtitles to English. That's actually why I'm breaking it down here for you guys. So I was surprised. I was like, wait, what? So how can it go one way but it doesn't go the other way? I don't know. If I can figure out how to do that in a simple way and not going and manually doing it myself, because that takes forever. Which is why I'm giving you the breakdown now. Okay, so that was the first chapter. Next was my history, adoption, and journey traveling through Paraguay, right? And then the next was my first time meeting my biological mother down here, which you guys have seen in the story. If you've seen that one video I've done where I give a detailed breakdown of my first trip here in 2012 when I met my family. I personally really like the video. It's storytelling, yes. If you guys don't care for my stories, that's fine. But those who do want to know me a little bit better, that's essentially it's a short version of that video. Okay, that's that one chapter. Next is a call out, and this is actually new information for you guys. So in this Spanish speaking video, I do a call out, right? Because we have one brother named Javier, who's a few years younger than me. I want to say 3 years younger than me. So he'd probably be 30-ish, right? But we also have an unknown sister in this world as well. And so I do a call out through this video saying, please share. And I speak to her directly. Supposedly her name is Rosa, Rosa. I'm not sure. She may have the similar last name, Aranda, or have no idea. Could be completely different. She may not even speak Spanish or English. She may speak French or who knows what, right? But, you know, it was kind of I kind of throw it out there just to, you know, maybe the universe will bring us together through my content. So if you guys want to actually share this video, that it serves for multiple purposes, right? Not just to share a video and somebody else's story, but there actually is a call out there, like, you know, if somehow the world brings us together via my platform, that's wonderful, you know, because I do want all of us siblings to be reunited, you know, and those who do know my bigger history. The reasons that I don't have the true information is because it's information withheld from me by my biological mother herself. And it's not easy to come across like a date of birth and a true name, a true first name and last name. I can do the rest of the investigation myself, right? But if I get those two true facts, then I can search for both of them. Anyways, so yeah, my sister would be I really truly don't know, maybe 6 years younger than me. I have no idea, but she would be probably late 20s ish. So anyways, there's a call out. Next, I talked about, I mentioned in the video that I don't care anybody's like opposition to the video, because I do reveal information, but even what I do reveal you guys about my biological mother, I try my very best to be 1,000% respectful, right? Because she is on this earth still, right? You know, and just respectful of the story in general, right? I do omit a lot of unnecessary information, right? Like I try not to get petty with anything. I try to keep it to storytelling, facts, etc. But even that, even kind of diving deep into my story. My daughter's drinking waters. Come on, sit down. But even that, even telling a simple story, I know that there are people who are going to get mad at me, right? Why would you divulge that information? Why are you talking about your mother at all? Why are you talking about your situation? And the big reason because number one, yes, I do have this call out, but beyond that, you guys, if I'm going to talk about being adopted and the journey of adoption and a reconnection, I need to be as honest as I possibly can without being petty. Right? I need to be as honest as I possibly can, because I'm doing a disservice to other adopted children and adults who want to meet their family. If I do not paint a full picture, if I give you the Disney version, which there are some Disney moments, right? There's the meeting at the airport and the hugging and the tears and all that. There's all that, right? But there's also very, very difficult moments as well. And not only that, there's difficult internal questions you're going to have to ask yourself if you do what I did, right? Okay, now where do I stand responsibility wise for this new family I've acquired overnight, essentially, right? That I just met overnight. Now you're going to have very deep feelings. There could be children in your family that you want them to be good in life. Right? There could be very deep questions that you're going to have to answer about the projection of your future in order to make sure the new kids in your family are well, or to at least analyze if you don't have to give anything monetarily or anything like that, at least analyze and keep up on their well-being and make sure that they're well cared for and they're living a healthy situation so they have a fighting chance of doing well. You know, like these are such deep questions that you're gonna have to answer right after you do this reconnection stuff. That's why I fucking hate Hollywood when it talks about adoption things, because you know where it always pauses or ends the movie? It always ends the movie right after the hug, right after after the Disney moment. That's not our lives. You know, like not even close, man. Yeah, I barely talk about it on the channel, like all the stuff I've been through down here, and then some of it's unnecessary, right? But like that's why I just try to give you more of a general story. But I'll talk about the real stuff when it's necessary. When I'm doing a video, I don't. You know why I don't cut these up? Because I want you to see my full thought process, beginning to end, right? Even if I have to take a moment and I don't like chop every millisecond out. To save 5 minutes. No, I'll just keep all this on the video. It's a testimony to my kids too. That like you have to have the ability to keep talking, you know, like you can't just have like 10 random dumb thoughts and then like go back and mix them up and that. No, man, like try to keep it fluent. Okay, so I talk more about my history in the video, and then I get to my life here in Paraguay in 2024, and then I give my ultimate advice for adopted children and adults. Pretty much what I literally just did right now. So so that's a breakdown of that video. And again, I know I spent the last 5 minutes talking about this because I do guys want you to understand what that video is, in case you're not that good at Spanish yet. I personally, even after all these years, I'm probably only 80 to 90% fluent myself, right? So I still have work to do myself, right? Lastly, I just, say Rojaihu Paraguay. And in case you guys hear that and you don't know what I'm saying when I say Rojaihu, Rohayu Paraguay, that means I love you Paraguay. Te amo Paraguay. It's a very national Guarani saying. And anyways, then I just thank everybody for watching that video, right? So that's what that video is about. If you saw it pop up on my channel, it's not quite the same as any other video I've done, but I just wanted to break down those chapters for you in case you want to watch it and try to you put the Spanish subtitles on, and I talk pretty slow, so there's a good chance that you can keep up if you do want to watch that video in particular. Okay, so let's keep on going here. So that's those are all the themes in YouTube, right? So I'll close this topic out. I knew it was going to be the longest one I address. Now I want to talk to you guys about homesickness, and this goes back to the Anthony Bourdain stuff, right? So am I homesick? Absolutely. I'm absolutely homesick. I know when I post about stuff, like, man, I don't get necessarily opposition, but I get a lot of like, well, that's what you chose, or like, what's the other one? Or like, or you're doing well in this aspect or that aspect, so how could you possibly be homesick? You know what I mean? I know people are like kind of clowning or whatever when they say it, but like, it doesn't matter how economically sound you might be, even how well you might be doing with women down here. You're still gonna get homesick. It's natural, right? I miss my parents, man. I do. I miss my siblings, right? I miss even the ability to just being able to go see them, right? And in person, right? And like, in particular, like to fucking be able to handle my mental health back home. Me and my dad would take my dog on a walk in the dog park at least twice a week for the last months, like, well, even before that, but especially like more intensely the last months right before I left, because I know that those were some of the last times we'd be able to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't have that here, and my family and, my parents were retired, before I left too, for the last few years of their life. So they had more time on their hands, but my family here really doesn't have a lot of time on their hands unless I'm going to have to see them at night, weekend kind of deal. A lot of times I'm using the weekend to film, etc. So, I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's just different, right? You really have to understand a lot of people have busy schedules here too, right? Okay. Sorry guys, let me get something to drink. Okay. So yeah, and then, the friends aspects, any of my friends who might be watching this video, I hope you guys are. I hope you guys are staying up on my content. Really, truly, friends back home. I know that there's things that I brought up about, some things here and there in videos, but I miss you guys, really, truly. If any of you guys are watching this by some chance back home in Wisconsin, I know I talk about home two places too. This is home, that's home. They're both essentially home, right? This is where I need to be physically, but I do consider that like a home, right? At least in the States. Eventually, actually, I'm going to get tattooed American flag and Paraguayan flag on me. I don't know where yet. Or I might do something over my heart, or I might keep them more familial over my heart. Anyways, I'm gonna get tatted up a little bit more when I'm down here. Anyways, so I miss you guys, really, truly. Even if I didn't even see you guys that much in the last months and years, I miss all of you, like really truly. And reach out to me, give me a call. I'm not that fucking busy, or like whatever. If I'm in the middle of doing something like this, like filming a video, I'll call you back or whatever, you know. And then yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean, you guys are still like my rock, man. Like you guys know me better than probably my parents do in a lot of ways, and you know, and a lot of deep stuff I've divulged to some of my closest friends, like back home. You know what I mean? So I miss you guys. Anyways, okay, let's keep going. Yeah, so I pretty much addressed that. There's no homesickness around really, like any like love situation that's played over the last damn near 2 years now that I haven't been in a more of a committed relationship, right? So in that aspect, no, it doesn't really apply for that, right? And we both, like me and my like ex situation in America, we both like we're done, right? We've been done for a long time, so there's none of those feelings from back home. Before I was leaving, yeah, there were those feelings, right? Because we were still in the same city. But now that I'm here, like physically, like that, no, it doesn't exist anymore. Which is actually really good. That's a big thing that a lot of men need to get over in life, right? Past relationships. For me, it took a long time, right, to like get like truly emotionally over like a certain situation, right, back in the States. Yeah, and actually, okay. So now we're gonna talk about dating. Okay, you guys. Jesus Christ. Anytime I mention something about dating, you guys are coming at me, man. I swear to God. Okay, so what was the last thing somebody said about dating? A 22-year-old from Netherlands. If you're watching this video, man, look, I got respect for you, my man, but you have some growing up to do, right? Anyways, this guy, he commented in my comments in some video, and he was like, "Why are you always talking about dating?" And I'm over here like, dude, like, first of all, you're 22. I've been 22 too. And guess what? I was a big time player at 22. You know what I mean? And like, you know, and dude, believe me, you know, I've lived that whole life, man, that bartender life, that all that shit. Had girls right and left. I mean, beautiful girls, right? And you know, I was better looking back then, better in shape too, and all that shit. And like, I understand where you're coming from when you say something like that. Like, oh, what did you say? Oh, there's girls everywhere. Like, I get you, man. But I'm a 33-year-old man nowadays. When I was 22, I probably would have said something dumb like you, right? But since I'm 33, I try to take dating more serious. You know what I mean? It's not just there's girls everywhere. Of course there's girls everywhere. Literally here, they're fucking stunningly beautiful girls everywhere. That's not the point though. I want the right girl, right? Or at least if I'm not like at that level quite yet, because I don't even know how much time I have for all that yet. But even in the pursuit of that, I still want to be with the better ones, if that makes sense, right? Like, could I go around and do all kind of degenerate shit and invite girls to motels everywhere around the city? Sure. But why? You know what I mean? Like, no, dude. Anyway, so that was a really young man thing to say, right? To an older guy. And then I know I'm still like relatively young, like in the life version, but like a 22-year-old telling a 33-year-old, "There's girls everywhere." Oh my God, what are you, stupid? You don't see only girls everywhere? Yeah, dude, I see them better than you do. Believe me, I matched dozens and dozens of them over the last 2 years. Beautiful girls. You know, so I know what you're saying, but that's not my life. You know what I mean? Even if I'm casually dating, which is pretty much my situation now, I still want it to be healthier than anything that I was in the past. You know what I mean? Like, just more sane, more sanity to the beast of what is dating, right? Okay, had to say that. I had to address that, you guys. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, Now, on a macro level about dating, right? Oh my God, it's so much better, right? Women are more beautiful. Women are more feminine. Women are more pleasant, right? Now, will they stay? Will they stay? The first two things, yeah. But will they stay pleasant? Yeah, maybe. That's a maybe, right? Like any relationship with time, right? Things can start bothering you about what they're saying and like that. That's actually here. I will bring that up. That's the biggest reason why I don't work out with girls here, right? Because I'm me and I say what the fuck is on the top of my head, and I almost overtell the truth, right? So I'll give you an example, right? It was a small thing I should have ignored. I should have ignored it, but I didn't ignore it, you guys. I did not ignore it. Oh man. So anyways, this last time, what did I not ignore? A girl made a comment that like she was essentially saying, I don't know how it is to be grinding out here working physically on a daily basis. Right. And I took offense to that. I was like, look, you know my history. I've worked every single job under the sun, every non-glamorous job you could think of, essentially. You know, at one point in my life, like the series of events led me here, right? And then I oversaid some things, like, and then there was a series of events that led you where you're at. And I was a little bit too, I was too much with it, all right? That's overtelling the truth. That's what I'm saying. That's my problem, man. Sometimes I just need to just shut my mouth, right? And anyways, that didn't go over well, you guys, to say the least. Yeah. Oh man, lost another one, you guys. No, but anyways, so like, but there's a deeper reason actually. I do bring that up is because when I was in a long relationship in the United States, and I've seen a lot of testimony from you guys, you that I've known that have hit me up with your stories, but also like that I just see online myself. But when you get into relationships, long-term relationships in the States, there's a really good chance that you could find yourself in simping moments. If you guys don't know what that word means, simping, it basically means that you kind of lose yourself. You kind of lose your soul, so you just start agreeing with everything that she's saying. And you kind of forget to have your own thoughts because a big reason is you don't want to start arguments, right? So you just start finding yourself agreeing on things that you don't actually agree to either intellectually agree on, or you may start surrendering on things that you don't want to do, that she wants to do, or like things like that, you know? So there's a deeper level to what I'm talking about there. And I'm so not willing to go down that path again that's why like I almost challenge these girls. Like, look, if you can't handle this truth, I'm sorry, but like, how in God's name can we even like advance in any sort of serious way? If you can't handle these truths, like, how are you going to be the mother of my children? Are you going to be offended? And like, look, man, I know that I need to like calm down a little bit on my over truth telling, but even the simple truth telling is important for me now, right? Because I pretty much made a promise that I'm never going to surrender on how I actually feel in life. You bottle that shit up, you guys. You truly, if you find yourself like agreeing with your lady or something and you don't actually agree with her, a little bit of your soul is like ripped from you every single time. And that's like bottled up stuff that like could come out in a bad way. Like, I don't mean like in an abusive way. I just mean like in a, like, maybe you, I don't know, whatever, start defying her. Maybe you say, fuck you, I'm just going to stay out with my homies all night type shit, or do something like that. You know what I mean? That was just a weird example, but you know what I mean? You guys get the picture, right? So anyway, so like I'm not willing to compromise on those kind of things. Do I understand that you do need to make compromise in relationships? Yes, I understand that. But like when it comes to like, damn, like I gotta hold back the truth from you, like how I feel and stuff. Nah, man, I can't do that. I'm sorry. Like, look, like you need to handle it. Like, it's not just American and Western women who can't really handle the truth. This is what I talk about also. Women's nature is women's nature is women's nature around the world. And Some of them may have an issue with hearing the truth. You know why? You know why? It's because there's so many simps everywhere in the world. Simping is a fucking pandemic. It's not just an epidemic. It's a pandemic around the world, dude. Like, I've seen this play out, right? I've seen this play out. The men down here will tell absolutely anything to a woman to try to get with her, right? And like, I'm not willing to do that, right? Or they'll do anything for her under the sun, right? Just like off the bat, right? No promises made. Sometimes haven't even slept with a woman, like whatever, you know what I mean? Don't even have the projection of a relationship. And they're just ultra simping in the way they talk, maybe some actions, maybe this or that. I'm just like, man, I ain't about that, you know? I ain't about that, dude. Anyways, so I guess I started that being a macro level thing. Like, overall, it's better. Overall, back in the States, like, I literally just did a interview with a Canadian, good looking fellow, man, above 6 foot, 0% body fat, good looking characteristics. And you know what he tells me? He says I'm invisible in Canada. You guys, back in even one generation ago, fuck it, not even that far, 10, 15 years ago, I guess that's almost a generation, but for some people. Anyways, but even then, like, this guy would have had no fucking problem. And maybe back when he was in his 20s, just because I've seen the projection of from my 20s to my 30s too, like the playing out of social media, how much more it overtakes women's lives nowadays, even than like 10 years ago, right? I've seen all this shit play out too. But for him to say that, like, I'm invisible in Canada, I'm looking at you like, dude, you're a Chad, bro. What are you talking about? Like, you're in shape. Like, you know, you got the characteristics of the beard thing going on, nice fucking comb back hair. I'm like, bro, what the fuck, for real? You know what I mean? And we didn't really get into a little bit into that interview about like how he's was treated by ladies down here, etc. But anyway, so yeah, going back to the macro thing, like, yeah, femininity is like, whoo, man, it's refreshing to be down here. The femininity, right? Yeah, man, yeah. So, where am I, you guys? Where am I? Oh yeah. So in general, expats feedback. Go watch the interviews, you guys. I think I touched on it with everybody who I talked to down here, but everybody, no matter if you're my age, Simon's age, 31, a couple of years younger than me, or you're all the way up into your 60s, all of you come back with great feedback about dating and women down here, right? Whether you're from Australia, Canada, the United States, Ireland, like you're all kind of blown out of your minds, right? How beautiful they are, how feminine they are, how polite they are, how they give you a chance to, even if you're not pursuing them romantically, how willing they are to talk to you, answer your questions, be approached, be greeted, right? So, you know, every single time I hear you guys' testimony about our ladies down here, like songs going off in my head, right? And I'm just like, here you guys. All right, I have to do this. I have to break out in this song. Just for 2 lines, right? But anyways, like this is a very famous song. It's Soy de mi tierra, from my land, right? It's a Paraguayan song by Pablo Beningas, and Ivan Zavala came and did a live concert with him to sing this song. But anyways, there's a part that goes like, Soy de la capital de la galota, soy sangre paraguaya de raíz. And anyways, it's just a beautiful song. Of course, my dog would drink water when I'm singing that shit. Oh my God. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that, like, it's even me being a guy, like, for you guys to be all around the world talking so well of our women, right, who are very proud to be Paraguayan, proud to show the best qualities of Paraguay through themselves, like through being a good person and being a good woman and being a feminine woman and being a cultured woman, being a bilingual woman off the bat. You know, I mean, you guys coming down to tell me that, like, I've known this for a while, but like, you know, it's flattering. Like, even being a guy down here, right? And you know what's funny about that? Actually, even from 12 years ago, I remember that you know, I remember the men telling me, like, off the fucking plane, essentially, like, hey, if you get married here, our women are beautiful as hell, right? Like, there's the main thing that I was always told is hay mucha competencia, right? There's a lot of competition, right, with the women among themselves to be the most beautiful, to be whatever, right? And women here have also gotten have had more modern elements about them, even with the social media stuff, even obviously down here too. But they're still very pleasant, right? Very pleasant in general, right? Even when you have disagreements, it's pleasant, right? Like, even breakups are pretty relatively pleasant, right? They'll still break your heart, but like the process of a breakup is more pleasant in general, right? You know, and yeah, I mean, yeah, there are still difficult aspects about dating, but you know, overall, it's a good experience, and this is literally what you guys tell me. And so you know, maybe you don't believe me, maybe you think I'm a complete liar about every single thing I talk about, but if you, just in case you think that, which I hope you don't, but just in case, this is exactly why I bring other people on the channel too, so they can give their testimony, so they can give their experience, right? Okay, I think we're done with that topic. What I do? Okay. Spirituality, you guys. I'm still not the most spiritual person, and I'm definitely not a religious person. I don't step into churches hardly ever. I will go to Arewa, or not Arewa. I was just at Arewa. I will go to Ka'akupe, our religious city, here shortly. Maybe by myself even. I'm not sure. There's one expat I really want to take there. He's not here right now, but I'll see if he wants to go, even if I go one time before. Cause yeah, I try to arrange to go with a family member, but they're pretty busy right now. So I had yeah, you could say a spiritual moment or just a powerful moment in general. In my Arewa video, at the very end of my video, I get pretty real with you guys about like my mental health journey, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and like, you know, so like, and that's a special place because like I remember going to that town 12 years ago when I was with a cousin, and we just had like even our moments of silence when we were just walking were just nice. They were blissful moments. Like, damn, dude, like I can just like pick up, come to a town with a family member, just have a pleasant experience, and like, you know, talk about certain things, etc. And being there in general was powerful. I was like going back in time almost, and that town is so magical and just beautiful. Check out that video, you guys. Arewa, if I remember, I'll put it on the screen, right? And you know, that was a moment to reflect, to be thankful, to pray a little bit. I don't pray enough, but I'm starting to again, which is a good shift, I think, for me. And also, like, me and Aaron actually just talked a little bit more in detail about this in our last interview, not even interview, conversation, right? That I had with Aaron about, like, you know, younger men moving abroad. That was the part 3 of 3 different conversations we've had now. And we break down the topic, living in the moment, and smelling the roses, right? Which is exactly what the Arewa thing was for me. It was a good escape from the city kind of deal. Yeah, so I still don't live in the moment enough, to be completely honest, but I certainly live in the moment more than I did back home. Back home, I was always thinking about the future, and I was reflecting on the past a lot, right? Back in the States, right? Because I was just like, look, I don't want to bring all my past, and I've actually been really good at that, like not thinking about like anything over there here. I have a lot of stuff here that I think about here, but even that is tempered, right? Anyway, so, I guess, yeah, the reminder, living in the moment, being more spiritual, enjoying the slow pace of life here. Like I forget that. And especially even now, like I'm trying to grind out a lot of videos. But it's important, man. It really is, like, to remember that, there may not always be a tomorrow. So like enjoy the today. This actually goes back to the Anthony Bourdain quote from the very beginning, right? Here's it leaves marks on your memory, on your consciousness, on your heart, and on your body. You take something with you, and hopefully you leave something good behind. Okay, maybe it doesn't go exactly with that, but the journey changes you. Have some moments, like when it's changing you, when this journey that I'm on is changing me, I have to stop and recognize those things, right? And actually, a big part of that is actually making the list like I just did now and getting it out to the world for you guys too. This is essentially, yeah, this is a, I guess, relocation, travel channel stuff, but this is also very much my journey. This is also very much a diary entry that I can go back to all these videos, and one day I plan on writing a book. The best part about that book would be if I were to somehow reconnect with my siblings, my long lost siblings, the ones that I haven't met yet, that I tried to, but there's just those pieces of information that are missing, birth date and true first and last names, right? But you guys should share that video if you'd be so kind to, for sure. It's the Mi Adopción, mi travesía en Paraguay, my journey in Paraguay. That's the video I'm talking about. Okay. So, yeah. And then I guess just the overall freedom. Yeah, that'll be the last topic I talk about here. The overall freedom, you guys, I have not had that since, I would say, probably my college days, if not even before. I have never had 100 days to, and even beyond, up to a year plus, right down here, where I can focus exclusively on what I want to do. This is actually one of the first pieces of advice that I actually gave Aaron, right, when he had his first consultation with me. And guys, hit me up for consultations. I give a lot of info out, like, for free, but there might be stuff closer to your lives. Hit me up for a consultation. It ain't too much, especially if you're making your bread and stuff in the States still or wherever. Like, I'm not going to overcharge you or nothing. Like, it might be, just reimburse me for my time, etc. But I can get deep into, what I think maybe you should do to get down here, to enjoy life in general. Fuck it. Even if you just want to shoot the shit, man, just talk about girls. Maybe you want to just do, maybe you want to dive deep into cost of living. Maybe you want to ask me about what I think about this area and that area. Hit me up for consultations for sure. I'm here. We can get it set up. We can do a Zoom meeting. We can do a what's up call. We can do a even, I think, on FaceTime. I still carry my American number. So let me know. We can do whatever by whatever means that we're able to. I can talk to you guys on camera, off camera is cool too. If you guys want to do old school phone call, it'd have to be through WhatsApp, but and just the audio feed or the call feature without the video. Okay. So anyways, yeah, the freedom I've had here. Oh, that was what I was talking about. One of the first advice that I gave Aaron, right, is that it's okay if you don't have everything figured out, but you can buy yourself some time in this world, right? I wouldn't have had a fucking fighting chance, like, taking the time out for a year living in the United States of America with the cost it costs to live for 1 year in the United States of America, to exclusively focus on my projects, right? What I want to do for once in my life, for once, right? And, and then, I've been branching out too beyond YouTube about like, ways to, collaborate, make money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, in general, this YouTube thing is important for me because, I think I'm a unique voice down here for Paraguay. I'm going to give it to you more straight than a lot of these other guys do. And yes, I'll own that. I'll own that even if you guys want to come at me or whatever. I do have a lot of content where I know I'm in here now in my place. But I really get out of my place, out of my bubble to show you more, even if it's just B-roll and then I talk over it later. To show you guys like how small towns are, like etc. Well, whatever, even going to a concert or something like that, So I just feel more free to do more things that I wanted to do. Like I've been here a lot, but I haven't seen everything over the last 12 years, and I've mostly even been a city guy, making sure family's well, like dating a little bit here and there, and and some years, mostly in the beginning and then towards the end. But like, freedom in general, and just and on a societal level too, I know I talked about like some ladies might be a little bit more offended at certain things, but like on a societal level, man, I don't have to walk on the same eggshells like I did in the States, right? About like, oh, I can't talk about this, I can't talk about this, I'm gonna get canceled. I shouldn't even touch this topic because I know for a fact I'm gonna get canceled. You guys know, so it's like freedom of expression is what I'm really trying to say. And like here I can do it way more free, right? And in fact, that's kind of why you've seen the change of me. Those who've seen like my very first video, I walked on eggshells a little bit because I knew that there are certain things I couldn't talk about working for the state. And I personally don't think I have any bad takes on any of this stuff, but you never know who you could offend, even if you're talking about your own testimony, your own history. You could still offend somebody in the States, right? I mean, on a societal level, yeah, man. Like, and it's wild to me, right? Like nobody ever truly feels how we think because we're so worried about our employer, our family, our relationships, and so like over and over and over you find yourselves in these positions where you're just like, damn, I can't talk about that. I can't even damn near bring myself to feel that. You know what I mean? I'm like, here I just absorb everything, the good and the bad, right? It hasn't been the best, man. Like if everything was good, the way I planned it, in fact, I wouldn't even be honestly talking about dating. There is one girl I wanted to be with down here, and it didn't work out. So then I tried the second one. That one didn't work out, and then I tried some other stuff, talking to other girls, and I'm talking to now. I'm not gonna give numbers or anything like that, even though I might have divulged it earlier in this video, whatever. But like, overall, freedom, it's disappearing from America, which is ironic, right? And it's appearing in places like Paraguay. It's a free society, and the government here kind of pretty much leaves you alone, right? As long as you're paying your taxes. If you have a business or something like that down here, or if you're making money down here, you got to pay your taxes or whatever. But for a lot of you guys, it's not even going to be the case because they don't even tax your foreign income. Anyways, I'm getting nerdy with this shit, but you guys understand. Freedom in general is you can find it here, right? You can find it here for sure. And then lastly, just a shout out to my dog, man, my little guy right here. He's kept me sane and stable. Like there's times here when I've literally had Twilight Zone moments, right? And I know I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, but like, well, you guys probably already think I'm crazy. But there's times I've woken up here, man, and I'm like, where am I? Right? Like I'm like, wait, I'm not back in the States. Like, what am I doing here? You know, like and then then I wake up and like my dog's here. You know, and he keeps me sane, man. He's kept me sane at certain other parts of my life that even humans don't know about. Whether it's like just wanting to give up, and he his cute little self will just like be there and just be the reason, that I'm here and keep going, Yeah, I won't say any more than that, but like, yeah, dogs, animals, one day and having children, they'll make you whole, right? Their innocence, their purity will give you purpose on this earth, right? And having somebody to care for. And I gotta go out literally right now, and grab some more food for him. I got some treats here, but I need more of his like actual food. So you guys, I know I went pretty deep in this. Actually, I will reiterate Anthony Bourdain's statement, because that's what a huge part of this 100-day update is about. That statement, a lot of themes that I just talked about came from this statement. So I'll say it again. If I remember, I'll put the image again. Anthony Bourdain says, travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart. But that's okay. The journey changes you. It should change you. It leaves marks on your memory, on your consciousness, and your heart, and your body. You take something with you. Hopefully, you leave something good behind. And we're going to end the video there. Thanks, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being awesome people, subscribers, everything. Hit me up, consultations, hit me up for whatever, wherever, and I'm out. Hopefully these things do something for you guys. All right, right Aranda, my best life Paraguay, Che Aranda, doggy or Aranda too. Don't forget about him, guys. You bunch of meanies. Just kidding. I know you guys are loving folks. Oh man. Okay. See you guys later.